Hello, welcome back to the St. Baldrick's Impact Series. Our guest today is Patty Furco. Patty is a childhood cancer advocate, a St. Baldrick's volunteer event organizer, and most importantly, proud mom of childhood cancer warrior and angel, Abby. Patty, welcome.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive right in. And before we talk about all your tireless work on behalf of kids with cancer, I'd love for you to tell us about why you're so involved. Tell us about your remarkable daughter and childhood cancer angel, Abby.
Abby, oh, there she is. She is our middle child of three girls, a very proud Navy daughter, and she's an incredible cancer fighter. Abby passed away a year and a half ago, October of 2021, at age 15. She battled a rare leukemia, specifically Philadelphia chromosome positive ALL, and twice. And she was diagnosed first at age 4 and then again at age 7. She had a life-saving bone marrow transplant at age 8, and at that point was free from cancer. But Abby was so much more than childhood cancer. She was funny. She was kind. She loved her friends, her family, her supporters, and she was a lifelong Girl Scout. Abby dreamed of being a chef with even a full ride scholarship to a Virginia Culinary Institute. And we were so hopeful that she could indeed achieve that one day.
She was remarkable and inspirational, and she was giving to the very last moments of her life and always looking to teach us something as well. Her life illustrates, Patty, that cancer-free isn't free. Can you explain that?
100%. Abby passed away cancer-free, but she passed away, and too many children are gone or are living life post-cancer with life-altering side effects. Cancer is the number one disease killer in children, but there are also a lot of survivors, and 99% of those survivors will have a chronic health condition. Abby's side effects ranged from heart failure due to the exact treatment that saved her. She also lived many years with graft versus host disease, which is a common side effect for transplant recipients. But that controlled her life. She spent a lot of time in the hospital, in ICUs for additive years. She was at clinic appointments, age 4 all the way through age 15. She was wheelchair bound her final 5 years. She didn't let it stop her. Kids are incredible and they are fierce. But she's gone. She ultimately died at age 15 due to heart failure. That was a side effect from the treatment that saved her life at age 4 and 5. Her childhood was nothing but normal, but it was hers.
When we talk about things in life that are unfair, to beat cancer at such a young age and to have the treatment that saved your life cause you other problems that then takes your life is just, it really sums up why we need less toxic, more effective treatments. Abby's life and legacy inspired your family to create Team Abby Gives Hero Fund at the St. Baldrick's Foundation. And to date, Patty, you've raised nearly $330,000 for childhood cancer research, and you've supported 2 grants by that $330,000. How do your efforts make progress possible for other kids?
When we first learned about St. Baldrick's Foundation, she was about a year diagnosed, and we learned that the actual drug that was given to her with her diagnosis, that was a trial that changed her life expectancy from the initial 20% at age 4, was funded by St. Baldrick's and helped with the help of the St. Baldrick's researcher. And we said, we need to support that. how do we do this? Let's go. Like truly, family, friends rallied around us, and we learned the importance of funding researchers, and you know that those researchers are the ones there looking to make those treatments better, to find better treatments, and ultimately, truly, in a perfect world, put St. Baldrick's out of business, because childhood cancer will be no more, and that there will be cures from everything from the most common to the rarest childhood cancer. And so we really, really learned the difference of research, and the difference between adult research and child research is very different. Kids are very different than adults. They aren't just tiny humans. I have learned through all of my different amazing experiences, learning more, that, the kids are different. They need different medicines, their bodies, they're developing. And so funding the childhood cancer specific research is just so important. And we have been honored to do 2 grants, and we are actually right now have enough money to fund another one. We're just looking for that perfect researcher that we firmly believe in and are excited about.
Huge accomplishments, and very much about making things better for the next kids, and truly honoring Abby's legacy and what her aspirations and greatest dreams were. You, Patty, are also a determined childhood cancer advocate. You attended Childhood Cancer Action Days in Washington, D.C. many times, most recently this week. You're a graduate of the St. Baldrick's CARE program, which is our grassroots childhood cancer advocacy training program. You've served in the American Association of Cancer Research's Scientist Survivor program, and more. What do you want other families to know about advocacy and the purpose it's given you in recent years?
So I think I have learned through it all that action helps me, both when Abby was alive and with Abby gone, making her life mean something. Even though I know she's touched so many people and has done so many incredible things, I really, advocacy, I think, yeah, action. I said action is my love language. I've learned that. I really, it gives you a feeling of control in at least the childhood cancer world, which I know you lose a lot of control because you put all your faith in the doctors and the scientists and the research. Whereas this is me being able to do something and truly, try to make a difference, because science ultimately saved Abby, but then in turn, it also couldn't keep up with her. And there's so many kids that are fighting now, and the kids that are not here anymore, and all children deserve to live free from cancer and its effects. And through action, I truly feel and believe that we can continue to create better lives for survivors and families, both for those fighting, those have fought, and those not yet diagnosed. And someone was fighting for Abby and our family before she was diagnosed, before I heard those words, your daughter, Abby, has cancer. And those people gave us 11 extra years with our girl. I am proud and honored to do that for others. And I do want to share a little piece. When I was at that the AACR conference last year representing St. Baldrick's, I was walking around, and I did have the St. Baldrick's tag on, as the advocates did. And I actually lost count at how many researchers that were there doing their own thing stopped me, said thank you. And they said that St. Baldrick's was either their funder at some point, or someone down the hall in their research building uses St. Baldrick's funding, and how they really working with St. Baldrick's and how it was easy and how the funding went, and they were proud to represent and they loved working and it was easy. And that made, not that I needed any more, like, yes, we're doing the right thing. That sealed the deal, completely. I've always had a lot of faith in St. Baldrick's and what they do, but actually getting to hear from these researchers that we are funding that this is the way, like they're really happy with it. That made me feel so good and so proud to be a part of the foundation.
I'm glad to hear that. And I hope that every donor and volunteer listening hears that as well, that what we are doing is impactful. They are the right things by the people who know best, the researchers who are in the fight at the molecular level every day, that our strategy is the right one and it's making an impact. And I think that's why it's so important for you to be heard in DC as well at the federal level, because our legislators need the assurance that where the investments are being made at the federal level as well as at the foundation level are moving the needle and are making outcomes better for kids like Abby. Mm-hmm. I want to go back to something you said a moment ago. You wanted to make sure that Abby's life mattered. And I will just say to you that from the moment you knew she was coming to you and being given to you, her life mattered. And Abby made, and I think everybody who had the privilege of meeting Abby and following her journey knew that she made every day matter. And she is continuing to. And she is very much a messenger now, and she's here speaking through you. And so her life continues to matter. So within St. Baldrick's, Patty, you've held nearly every volunteer fundraising role possible since you started volunteering in 2012. And you've been involved in so many events, often multiple events every year. And I actually started counting up all your roles at all the events, but I lost track at 45, which I think has got to be some other kind of record. It was pretty impressive. What is most rewarding to you about being a volunteer leader and participating in fundraising events and in your community as well?
I love doing the fundraising events. I love bringing St. Baldrick's to other people. I have found, especially the picture there is where Abby went to middle school, and my youngest currently goes to middle school. And when I do it at the school, I get as many kids as possible together that want to help through volunteering. I give them ways to donate, whether or not it's a quarter or they're shaving their head. And my top fundraiser raised over $1,000. But I want to show people that every piece matters, every dollar matters, every action matters. And I love doing that. And it just happens to be for an organization for which I love and, I believe can affect every single family out there. That St. Baldrick's research is there helping families for everyone. And the really neat thing about St. Baldrick's events is they each can take on such a different feel and role. The one that you see here, as I said, was at the middle school. We had 500 attendees. It was crazy. And everyone that I warn and my incredible volunteer base and all of our donors, I'm like, it's a crazy event. But then, I go to the local hospital one to help. We do one for our hospital, and we just have these great family-centered events. Then Abby's friends last year created a color run benefiting St. Baldrick's Foundation. And so really, it can take on so many different feels for your audience, the people you want to get involved. And I love showing people how they can help through action, through any little piece. And St. Baldrick's Foundation makes it easy. They support events very well. I was explaining it to someone just a few days ago, like, hey, this is the way to do it, and it can be anything you want. And I really feel it's just a really great structure and support for whatever event you want to make happen. And of course, we do love seeing those bald heads out there, and love to share the bald heads that we created at the event there with local kids that are fighting cancer, to let them know that they are not alone.
That's beautifully said. You don't have to be a college graduate. You don't have to be employed. You don't have to be young, old, rich, poor.
Mhm.
In anywhere you are in life, you can be part of the solution and help make progress possible. So how has childhood cancer writ large changed the way you approach life?
Mm, life is short. It can be short. Um, Abby taught us to live each day. We never knew when a fever was going to hit and we would be back in the ICU for a month. And so we would make those moments count. We would go do those things that we want to do, and we wouldn't put them off. And if something wasn't possible, we tried as hard as we could to make it possible. And, I having belief in the greater good is a big one as well. Knowing like foundations like St. Baldrick's that are out there helping make these kids' lives not as hard, and again, one day ultimately finding cures. Um, Knowing that was behind us, knowing our friends and family were behind us, knowing, and I want to share that with anyone that's listening. I'm here fighting for you and your family if you are affected by childhood cancer. And for those that aren't, I'm still here. And I am, really wanting to help, wanting to do things, wanting a future for all of our children. And so truly, we've learned taking each day, every moment, and just being, acting, and loving.
What would you say to others who are thinking about getting involved in funding research, advocating for research? And what do you think Abby would ask of those listening right now?
For those people thinking about it, reach out to me, reach out to St. Baldrick's, reach out to a loved one that you want to talk to, you want to talk about it, you want to figure out how to act. Abby definitely would say, keep laughing, keep loving one another, and keep doing. Just follow your heart. Make a difference in any small way possible, and the sky's the limit.
Well, there you have it, folks. There's no better messenger than an angel. Thank you, Patty, for allowing Abby's message to reach us today through you, and for bravely leading the way to cures for every child. You've been remarkable, and I know you'll continue to be. To our loyal audience, thank you for sharing this episode on your social channels. Remember, research is hope, and you can deliver that hope. Visit us at stbaldricks.org to learn how, or reach out to Patty.